President Biden back in America's finest city and putting San Diego in the international spotlight. During his historic visit today, the president signed a nuclear submarine agreement with the prime ministers of the United Kingdom and Australia. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lindsay Pena.
And I'm Melissa Masiha. We have crews throughout the county covering the president's visit. ABC 10 News anchor Wale Aliyu is live to lead our team coverage from the San Diego International Airport. Wale?
Yeah, within the last 30 minutes, Lindsay and Melissa, President Biden arrived here at San Diego International Airport, and soon he will be arriving in Rancho Santa Fe for a fundraising event. Now, because of heightened security, we were not allowed on the tarmac today to see the president arrive, but we know he met with local leaders like Mayor Gloria, Chairwoman Vargas, for example. Earlier, he signed a submarine deal with Australia and the UK at Naval Base Point Loma. Busy day for the president. That submarine deal is a very historic collaboration between the three countries. ABC 10 News reporter Rachel Bianco is live outside Naval Base Point Loma, where the deal was signed. Rachel, pretty cool to have three world leaders here at one time.
It really was a historic visit. We are just outside of the base, and earlier people were lined up, but the final motorcade came through about a half hour or so ago. Today's announcement was a critical first step in the agreement between the three countries called AUKUS. That agreement was first formed in 2021. President Joe Biden laid out a phased plan for Australia to buy nuclear-powered submarines. The U.S. will sell 3 Virginia-class subs with the potential to sell 2 more beginning in early 2030. That's a decade earlier than many predicted. Biden says the agreement isn't just about selling subs, it's developing something new. He says the SSN AUKUS will be a new state-of-the-art nuclear-powered sub that will combine UK and American technology.
AUKUS has one overriding objective: to enhance the stability of the Indo-Pacific amid rapidly shifting global dynamics. In this first project is only beginning. More partnerships, more potential, more peace and security in the region lies ahead.
Under the first phase of the program, the U.S. and UK will immediately increase port visits of nuclear-powered subs in Australia. The president says this will also create jobs in all 3 countries. Reporting live in Point Loma, Rachel Bianco, ABC 10 News.
Rachel, thank you. Let's continue our team coverage with ABC 10 News reporter Austin Grabish for a deeper dive into the significance of today's announcement. Austin.
Well, they were live outside the naval base here in Coronado, where Air Force One is actually currently parked. And we were on the tarmac earlier today when President Joe Biden landed to make what at least one expert tells me is a historic deal. Now, this deal with Australia and the UK has been in the works for a while. In 2021, the 3 countries started looking at how Australia could acquire a conventionally armed nuclear-powered submarine. Fast forward to today, and now it's a done deal. Though I should stress, the president made several references today to this, saying that this is going to be a nuclear-powered, not a nuclear-armed submarine. President Biden, along with the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, announced Australia could be buying up to 5 of these submarines. They will start with 3 and then see if they need to go to 5. Now, if you're wondering why the announcement today, we do have some context for you. This deal comes amid growing concern about China's influence in the Indo-Pacific. A national security expert that I spoke to says the deal today is not without controversy. Take a listen now to Ron B.
The French are very unhappy about this because they were in the market to sell submarines to the Australians too. And the Chinese are very unhappy about this too, because this suggests that there is a buildup of arms in the Pacific Ocean, which they don't want to see.
And the president's next stop will be in Rancho Santa Fe tonight. He will be attending a fundraiser in that community. The president will then head to Monterey Park, California tomorrow. That city, of course, the site of a deadly mass shooting just last month. The president expected to be speaking about his efforts to reduce gun violence. Reporting live in Coronado, Austin Grabish, ABC 10 News.
Very busy day for the president, Austin. In fact, I can report to you that the president has actually just left the airport here within the last few minutes. Now, not everyone was happy about President Biden's visit to San Diego. Multiple groups protested today outside of Naval Base Point Loma, voicing a variety of demands. ABC 10 News reporter Natalie Chuck tells us the changes they're calling for.
San Diegans taking to the streets, hoping their signs will reach the eyes of President Joe Biden as he visits Southern California.
Our call on President Joe Biden is to save Friendship Park, to put into place his campaign promise to not build another foot of wall.
Construction recently began on a new 30-foot border wall at Friendship Park, a place that served as a meeting ground for loved ones separated between the United States and Mexico border.
Biden wants to say, I'm different on immigration, I'm different on border policy than my predecessor. He needs to stop these walls right now.
And nearby, another group of protesters yelling as the president's motorcade drove by, asking that he bring an American Navy lieutenant home. Lieutenant Ridge Alconis has been jailed in Japan for a car wreck that killed 2 Japanese citizens in 2021. His parents say he inexplicably fell asleep behind the wheel with his family in the car after a hike.
His constitutional rights, his human rights, were denied as part of the Status of Forces Agreement, which were not upheld.
The lieutenant spent time stationed in San Diego.
Ridge knows that we're behind him, and so all service members, the same thing.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to fight for these men and women who are serving our country.
Both groups taking their moment to be heard, hopeful the president will listen.
If we're not here, then, we're not top of mind.
Natalie Chuck, ABC 10 News.
Natalie, thank you. And construction on the wall at Friendship Park is expected to continue for the next 6 months. Now, you can get more information about President Biden's visit to San Diego on 10news.com, on the free ABC 10 News mobile app. Again, I can tell you that within the last several minutes, the president has actually left here, the airport here. We saw a couple of helicopters leaving here. So he should be arriving in Rancho Santa Fe any moment now. We will have the latest on the president's entire trip coming up at the top of the hour. For now, let's send it back to you in the studio, Lindsay.
All right, thank you so much, Wale.